Hello? Is this the 1990s? Hi, everybody. It's Rashonda Pratt, known online as The Rose Show Live. And no, you're not stuck in a time warp. This is Visibility is Power TV. And I want to talk to you today about what the 1990s, well, attending a 90s themed party, taught me about the imposter syndrome. Listen, do yourself a favor. Go ahead and share this with someone that you know. Go ahead and engage with me in the comment section and make sure you stay connected right here to Visibility is Power TV by hitting the subscribe button. I promise you it will be so worth it. I'm excited, as you guys can see. I attended my first 90s theme party. Go me, go me. So I have my overalls, my Poetic Justice shirt, and bamboo earrings, at least two pair. Some of you will get that reference. Others of you will probably have to Google search it. But nonetheless, it was a great experience. And while I was there, I was thinking of all of you and had this really great idea of what I learned at this party, this 90s themes party. My brain is always thinking of visibility, right? And what it means when it comes to the imposter syndrome. So at this party, you had the ability to come dressed up as anything that symbolizes the 90s, right? So there was a lot of people who had overalls on. One of my friends, she came dressed as Hillary Banks from the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. She actually met Will. So there was a guy there dressed as Will, the Fresh Prince. There were a couple people who were dressed as Space Jam, the cafeteria lady from middle school. There were so many people who were in character. And then there were just some of us who put on our favorite looks, like my friend Christina, who wore a windbreaker. Do you guys remember windbreakers? Again, if you don't understand how epic the 90s is, just do a Google search. Just head to the Google after you watch this video and go check it out. So she had on Windbreaker. And I was sitting there thinking about how we were in this atmosphere and so many imposters were in the room. I'm going somewhere. So many imposters, so many people who were dressed up as something they really weren't. When we look at the word imposter, the definition, this is what it means. It means a person who pretends to be someone else in order to deceive others, especially for fraudulent gain. Remember back in the 1990s, the group Milli Vanilli, Blame It on the Rain? I had their maxi single, by the way. Again, if you don't know what a maxi single is, just Google that. But I had their cassette tape, and they were absolutely fabulous. Everybody loved Milli Vanilli. And they had some pretty good music until we discovered that they weren't singing on their album. It actually came during a concert on Club MTV that they were supposed to be performing, and found out that they were, in fact, lip syncing. Fact, their whole album was a lip sync. They really could not sing. They were pretending to be something they really were not. In this online space, ladies and gentlemen, we have a great opportunity to take on the persona or take on the likeness of someone else. I often say we have a lot of Facebook fakers and Instagram imposters. It's so easy when you're scrolling and you see the success of someone who has, 1,000 likes, or they have 10,000 followers, or you look at their content and it looks absolutely amazing. And it's so easy to take on the persona of somebody else, to try to dress up as someone else, to take on the likeness and image of someone else in the social media space. Maybe you find yourself watching and listening to someone and you find yourself trying to sound like them. Well, here's the disservice that you do. I want to share with you three things. You do a disservice to yourself when you try to take on someone else's voice, someone else's sound, their imaging, their branding. That happens so much in the digital streets where people will post quotes, and other people will take their quotes and crop their name and their branding on it and take it on as if it is their verbiage. I want you to be careful not to do this because when you become an imposter, this is what happens. Number one, taking on someone else's voice, trying to take on someone else's persona is a disservice to God who created you. Did you know, my friend, that you're fearfully and wonderfully made? Yeah. And that is enough. You are more than enough. You can look at someone, you can look at me here on Visibility is Power TV and say, you know what? I like Rose glasses. I like her style. I like how she puts together content. I love her energy. You can admire that, but never try to become that at the sake of sacrificing who you are and who God's created you to be. So trying to be me is a disservice to God who created you because he's not in the business of making duplicates. That part. Number two, when you try to take on someone else's persona, someone else's likeness, someone else's voice and sound because you're not comfortable with your own, it's a disservice to your audience because now you have people thinking they know who you are and you're really not who you claim to be. This is so important in this day and age of catfishing and people pretending to be something that they're not, that you commit every single day that when you get in front of this camera, you're going to show up as all of you. That's more than enough. And you're not going to try to be someone else. You're going to be your real, authentic, compelling self. You're not going to try to embrace somebody else's story because that's a lie too. You're going to be okay with your mess because you're going to turn your mess into a message. It's a disservice to your audience. But here's the real danger, ladies and gentlemen, the real danger of trying to impersonate or show up as someone else. The real danger is that there will be people in your audience who will be attracted to that sound. They'll like what you're saying. They'll like the content that you're sharing. But here's the problem, it's not your own. It's not your real voice. It's not your content. And you'll attract them, and they'll be attracted to the sound that isn't your own. And the problem is, it's like the Wizard of Oz. Eventually, the curtain is going to be peeled back, and they're going to find out you're not who you claim to be. I often tell people all the time when it comes to pitching the media that you never want to compromise your brand for 15 seconds of fame, right? Just because the media comes calling and it seems like a great opportunity, if it doesn't align with your brand, you should never take the opportunity because it's just not worth it. And it's the same with showing up in this online space. I know that there's such a pull and a gravity to try to be like everybody else and try what they're doing because that's successful. But what I'm telling you is that's a danger because when you put yourself in that position, people are going to be attracted to that, but they may not be the people for you because they were attracted to a sound that you put out there, but it really wasn't who you are. Don't become the Milli Vanilli in the online space. Showing up, right? But it's really not your real voice. Showing up, but it's really not who you are. The greatest thing that you could ever do in this space, the greatest thing that you could ever do is truly be you. In the words of Cindy Lauper, show your true colors because they're shining through your true colors. That's why people love you. So don't be afraid to let it show your true colors because they're beautiful like a rainbow. Don't succumb to the pressure of trying to sound and look like everyone else. You have a unique sound, you have a unique image. And guess what? There are people out there who are pretty attractive to that. And that's word to your mother. Listen, I'm Rashonda Pratt, known online as The Rose Show Live. Listen, if this was helpful to you, please let me know in the comments right there. And also do me a favor, make sure to hit the subscribe button. We drop a new video every week. And sharing is caring. Make sure you let your people know that you're watching Visibility is Power TV and they should watch too. If you want to stay connected with me beyond here on YouTube, make sure to check out our Facebook community, our free Facebook community for those of you who are consultants, coaches, speakers, and experts who understand that this is the year you need to be seen, heard, and paid. You guys are absolutely amazing. Remember, your visibility is power and it produces influence, impact, and income. God bless you and talk to you soon.